Talk about faith and coming into a system in an AFL footy club. So drafted pick 42, I think
Yeah.
it was, to the Bombers, 2006. Culturally, with all due respect, Muslim faith and a football club, particularly back in 2006, don't mix
No.
and don't match. What is that like for someone as they enter what is already a pretty intimidating environment, to then also have this other part of you that could you share? Could you be yourself, or was it something that had to take time?
It took time, no doubt. And that's what I mentioned before. It's actually taken time to where I've got to today. Like having a conversation about, for example, not going to a social event where there's alcohol didn't happen in the first probably 5 or 6 years of my footy career.
Yeah.
Even when I transitioned to Richmond Footy Club, like it took a little bit of time, but probably the back end of my career, the last 4 or 5 years, I was so confident. I was, confident, but more about just, I knew I had the respect at the footy club where I can just come out and speak about what's important to me, and people just automatically, like, I had times, and I'm so grateful for this, that before I even finished the sentence, it's like, nah, done. It's like it's done. It's like, mate, you don't have to explain yourself. But I want to explain myself.
From an education point of view.
Education, and not only that, to show that I'm not here to weave and duck around certain things that a lot of us don't want to do as footballers. Yeah, let's face it. Certain things, events, we don't really want to go there, but because we have to go there as part of our, obviously things that we've got to tick off. But I was always proactive, and I said that, whilst I can't do certain things from a faith perspective, hey, is there a hospital visit that I can do? Is there a school visit that I can go do and show my support and love to the youth out there, and where I can educate and grow people? So I think I was very proactive from that perspective, and never wanted to see that I was shown that I was running away from these sort of things. So it was very difficult at the start because I was shy about and scared. Let's call it scared about how people were going to perceive me, and part of me was like, if I keep saying I can't, is this going to impact me getting a game, having a career? And that I'm to blame. I'll be honest. I don't blame anyone else. Everyone was ready. Everyone was ready to accept it, and I felt like I had the qualities to go out and meet that, that fear. Let's call it. Let's just like but. So I was the one to blame, and it took me a while to grow and to get to that stage. But I can say, I've just been very grateful for the way everyone has respected me in the AFL industry. And that's why I love our game. I love what it does to multiculturalism.
I know that you're not one for speaking ill of people, or, as you said, you take those moments as blessings. But I have no doubt, and I know for a fact that there's been times in your career where there's been racism either spoken towards you or communicated via social media and so forth. How does that impact you, or even maybe more widely your family, when those kind of things happen?
Impacts more my family, to be honest. It impacts everyone around me other than me. So, man, I'm just a guy that lives in the moment.
So how do you deal with it?
How do I deal with it? I've just got to calm people down, to be honest. I've just always got to bring it back to the faith perspective. Everything I've done in my life, Trent, and I grow within time, and and understanding. We always speak about the why for certain things in life, and for me, that's been my approach from a faith perspective, because the why just makes sense for me. There's a true purpose of living. So I've always had to use the faith aspect to calm people down and just say, relax, it's okay. And I always used to use the example that, in Islam, or let's just speak in general, the greatest human being that ever was sent down to humanity is Prophet Muhammad, hands down. I don't care what people would say from other cultures, other walks of life. If you get to learn about the way this human being that was sent by God as a mercy to humanity, all of humanity, not just the Muslims, all of humanity, mankind, then we have a lesson to learn. All we got to do is read about this person, amazing human being, and follow in his footsteps. So for me, I've been very fortunate enough for the last 15 years to learn and to grow so much gratitude and use his way of life and incorporate in my life. So that's why when I always talk about religion, I refer back to the greatest example lived. And you learn. Yeah, you can argue, if you lived 1,500 years ago, but no, the same concept still exists today. Having good values, good manners, good having a good character.
Yeah.
That doesn't change over time. Yeah, obviously the way life works and that changes a little bit, but the way you approach people, the way you deal with certain situations and how to treat people doesn't change. It remains. So I just used to use that with my family and always look at the greater picture at the end of the day. Okay, any opportunity to educate, I'll educate. And one example that I had, with one of the supporters who called me a jihadist, which is like a terrorist, someone who does bad things. And it was a bit confronting at the time, but I let it go and played the game, went along my business, had the game of my life. I was pumped up, did nothing
So
wrong.
did it
obviously.
motivate you?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, we ended up losing that game. We were playing Collingwood that day. Sorry, I gave up the supporter, but didn't give up the name, of course. I didn't get to know the name. But that wasn't important for me. For me, it was just about the message after that. Now, it was after the Adam Goods incident or the situation that was happening. So for me, it was just a matter of time that it was going to come my way. This guy there calls himself Muslim. He prays. He's got a beard. He looks like a terrorist, let's call it. You know what I mean? Everyone thinks, because I grow a beard, I look like a terrorist. These days, no, it's fashion. But furthest thing away from, I mean, you've known me all my life. Have I shown any sort of glimpses of a bad person?
No,
Probably
not.
And that's what Islam teaches and preaches at the end of the day. It preaches to be peaceful and show harmony and all that sort of stuff. But I use that opportunity to educate, and to go over to that person. And very easily, I could have ejected and said, you know what, you're never going to watch a game ever again because I'm going to complain. And I didn't want to do that. I wanted to use education as the piece to educate others that this is not the way to go about things. And if I was a bad person, I'll do very bad things. But no, I'm not going to do that. You've made a mistake. We all make mistakes in life, but just grow from it.